Well, an Edmonton man has recreated his own version of the iconic Griswold house, and this year he's taking it to the next level. What started out as just a small project in 2019 with his late brother-in-law, Larry, is now a very popular annual attraction, and you can see why. This year, Don Dombrowski's display features more than 150,000 lights, all for the sake of raising money for the Veterans Association Food Bank. Dom Dombrowski and Chris Casey from the Veterans Association Food Bank are both our guests this morning. Welcome. Good morning.
Welcome. How are you this morning?
I am. You guys look cold. Are you outside?
Yes, we are.
Thanks so much for doing that for us. Listen, Don, tell me about this display. And I'm sort of glad it's still dark outside because we can see some of it behind you. How long did it take? We know there's 150,000 lights. Walk us through what this makes this year's display so special.
Well, it takes us a few months to set it up. I mean, we set up the inside of the house as well, so when people walk through the yard, they can actually look in through the windows and see what we have going on in there as well.
And how long did you start doing it in, I guess, in November to set it all up?
No, we start usually at the end of August, and then we work our way through it. You know, sometimes I have to work in between, but otherwise, it's probably 280 to 320 hours to set it all up inside now.
Well, you can see all the hard work. It is beautiful. You know, this started out, we know, as a two-person project with your brother-in-law, your late brother-in-law, Larry, in 2019. You lost Larry in 2022. Can you tell us a bit about his story?
Well, Larry was my brother-in-law, and he was a really great guy. You know, he was always there to help anybody out when they needed him. And he helped us out in 2019 with the advent of COVID. No one had anywhere to go, so we thought we'd light up the yard. We had 53,000 lights that year, and now it's kind of got away on us a little bit.
It's beautiful to see. Chris, you're there too. You partnered with Don to raise money for the Veterans Association Food Bank. How did this partnership begin? And tell us about the importance, especially this year, in supporting the food bank.
Well, I was divorced young, 33 years ago, and I didn't see my daughter for all this time. Being on your show last year, she was watching television and reached out to me and said, I think you're my dad. And
wow.
She's a major in the Canadian Air Force at present. And I also had a grandfather that went to France in 1916 and an uncle in the Second World War. So it just seemed like karma and a good fit that we'd be involved with the Veterans Association Food Bank and Purses this year.
Oh, that is an incredible, incredible story. Chris, I want to bring you into this. What does the food bank do to help veterans and their families? And tell us about the need this year.
The need just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Right now, we're looking at about 230 food hampers going out in November, and I'm expecting to hit about 250 in December. The need just seems to keep growing and growing.
Yeah, and you know, we're hearing about all the statistics around the need in food banks right across the country. How does this one specifically, what does this specifically target? I know it's for our veterans.
We service Canadian Forces active members and veterans and their families, Commonwealth veterans and their families, and American veterans and their families. And we also service our CMP veterans and families.
Don, how can somebody get a tour of your Christmas display? Do they have to just drive by? Do they make an appointment? How do they come by and see all your hard work?
Well, you can actually come and actually walk through our whole property and you know, take a walk. Veterans coming out this year with our so you know, once you've been, like, you can drive by, see the front, but that's only half the show. So you're better off to walk through and see the whole display.
This work is just incredible. We were showing pictures of it to our viewers just a little bit. Don, I got to ask you this question because the crew all wants to know. What's your bill like? What's your electricity bill like?
Our electricity bill?
Yeah.
It's higher than most people, I would say.
But all for a really good cause. Don and Chris, I want to thank you for joining us here in your morning. Listen, I know it is cold in Edmonton, so thank you for joining us from outside.
No, thank you very much for having us on. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you both. If you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.